Proposition 60. Adult films, condoms, health requirements, initiative statute. Plain language, require the use of condoms in pornographic films. So for the first time in the history of the Darryl Johnson Show, I am forced to include a cautionary note that this video is not appropriate for all ages. As the title suggests, the subject matter centers on sexually direct topics and may be offensive to even those old enough to vote on this measure. Continue with caution or click here to skip to the next video in the series. I'm sorry. California is the leading adult film industry location, specifically San Fernando Valley and Los Angeles. It is standard practice for the state to impose health and safety requirements on employers for the safety of California workers. The State Division of Occupational Safety and Health, aka Cal-OSHA, considers exposure to certain bodily fluids to be a workplace hazard because sexually transmitted infections like chlamydia, hepatitis B, and HIV are risks. So for this reason, the state already requires the use of condoms during sex in adult films. This rule is generally enforced by responding to complaints. Between 2014 and 2015, 4 production companies have been cited. Moreover, Los Angeles County specifically requires condom use due to a 2012 county measure approved by Los Angeles voters. Some adult film productions currently require or allow performers to wear condoms, but some don't, despite the law. Furthermore, parts of the industry use regular STD testing to confirm that performers are free of harmful infections instead of using condoms. Long story short, Proposition 60 updates the California Labor Code specifically with regard to sexual intercourse on adult film sets, in which performers actually engage in vaginal or anal penetration by a penis. The updates are: it clarifies the condom requirement. Adult film producers must provide condoms and ensure that performers use them. Condoms do not need to be visible in films, but the producers must be able to prove that the performers actually use them. It requires adult film producers to be licensed by Cal-OSHA every 2 years and notify Cal-OSHA whenever they make a film, pay fees to Cal-OSHA to cover administrative costs, pay for STI vaccinations for performers as well as STI tests and medical examinations, and keep records to prove that they are complying with the law. Previously, Cal-OSHA had 6 months after a violation to issue a citation. It would now be 1 year. It makes adult film producers, adult film distributors, and talent agents potentially liable for health and safety violations. It allows any California resident to request that Cal-OSHA address a potential violation and sue the adult film producer if action is not taken. They would be able to keep 25% of the lawsuit cash, plus a legal fee reimbursement. Fiscal impact. A likely reduction of state and local tax revenues, as many adult film producers will likely leave the state or begin operating underground. There would also be some added cost to the state for administration, but much of this would be offset by revenue from fees charged to adult film producers. Before we continue, a special message just for you. Now available for the fall 2016 election, the Darryl Johnson Show Voting Aid, complete with titles and brief summaries of each proposition along with spaces for your notes and verdict for you to print out and take with you to the voting booth. It's completely free, no strings, no mailing list, no catch, just helping out the fellow man. Email thedarryljohnsonshow@gmail.com. You can write me cute little notes if you like, but to receive the guide, all you have to do is type Voting Aid in the subject line and the power is yours. And now back to our regularly scheduled programming. From Yes on Prop 60. Pornographers have abused performers for far too long. Performers need and deserve the same workplace safety and health protections that construction workers, farm workers, nurses, and millions of other California employees already enjoy. Prop 60 only holds adult film producers, directors, and agents accountable, not adult performers, and closes loopholes in existing laws so pornographers can be held accountable. Pornographers say adult film performers are tested for disease, but testing, which the workers must pay for, is inadequate. It does not effectively identify many sexually transmitted diseases in a timely manner. Condoms provide important additional protections. Thousands of workers have been exposed to serious and life-threatening diseases, and we all pay the price because pornographers refuse to play by the rules. The lifetime cost to treat HIV is nearly $500,000 per person. The industry has cost California taxpayers an estimated $10 million in HIV treatment expenses and hundreds of thousands of dollars each year to treat related diseases. Thousands of diseases, which can spread to the larger community, have been documented within the adult film industry in recent years. Meanwhile, pornographers fire and blacklist performers who want to protect themselves with condoms. The American Medical Association, the American Public Health Association, and other major medical and public health institutions support the use of condoms in adult films. From No on Prop 60. This 13-page measure is so poorly drafted, it is the only initiative this year to be opposed by the California Democratic Party and the California Republican Party. Even the California Libertarian Party opposes Prop 60, as well as the only independent all-adult film performer organization in the state, who stated that Prop 60 is dangerous for the health and safety of performers. Prop 60 is opposed by many civil rights and public health organizations, including Equality California, the Transgender Law Center, AIDS Project Los Angeles, the Los Angeles LGBT Center, and the San Francisco AIDS Foundation. Prop 60 creates an unprecedented lawsuit bonanza, authorizing all 38 million residents of California to file lawsuits directly against those who produce or distribute adult content, which could include adult performers, LGBT performers, even injured performers, on-set crew, and cable and satellite TV companies. No other worker in California can be sued this way. Prop 60 could force adult performers to publicly disclose private information, including their legal names and home addresses. State employees will have to review adult films. Married couples who distribute films produced in their own homes could be sued. The named proponent of Prop 60 is authorized to be sworn in as an agent of the state. Only the legislature can vote him out of that position. The weather has been great lately. I could have been out enjoying this warm, sunny, beautiful day. Instead, I'm sitting at a desk reading about porn star condoms. This is the thing. I think this is absurd that we should even have to deal with this. This is not a statewide vote issue. This is frankly none of our business, and it's so California that someone would create a ballot initiative for the general public to ponder whether porn actors should wear condoms. Should we vote on colors and brand names too? Maybe we should have a vote on whether sewer workers should have to wear boots. What if they want to walk around barefoot? Should we make a law and have 38 million Californians vote on it? Look, porn stars, this is between you and your film pimps. Work it out. What really irritates me about this is I think it's un-American, being too cowardly to assert your rights, so you try to use the government to fight your personal battles. Stick up for yourself and stop trying to make us vote on your personal battles. The second thing that makes us un-American is that it's a case of the government destroying a private industry. This is like saying, donut companies can keep selling donuts, but you have to use gluten-free, sugar-free products without trans fats. Well, all right, you just destroyed California's donut industry. Everybody knows that nobody eats donuts to be healthy, and we are aware of the risks. Porn stars, these are hazards of the profession, and you know this. You chose to be a porn star. If this condom issue is so important to you, then go work at Target. Then it won't matter if your coworkers are wearing condoms, although I suppose you can still ask if you want. Pornographers make a certain kind of product. A law like this is clearly destructive to the industry and is only likely to push business out of the state. And if that's the point, then okay, let's vote to ban porn companies from California. Sure, let's vote on that. But to permit an industry like that to exist and then create a law like this is stupid. If you work in a coal mine, you know you will probably breathe in coal dust. If you're a firefighter, you know you'll probably get burned at some point. If you're a porn star, fill in the blanks. Hazards of the industry. And then to put the stupid cherry on top of the stupid sundae, they add this section that anybody can sue an entire production company, even if they live 800 miles away and have nothing to do with anything. Are you serious? What is that? Since when do we have laws where you can just sue people for something that has nothing to do with anything to do with anybody you've ever met? How doofus do you have to be to write a bill that the Democratic, Republican, and Libertarian parties all say you're out of your mind? Now, this video is not a defense of the porn industry. And we're just going to leave it at that. If you vote yes on Prop 60, you are voting to enforce the condom requirement on California porn producers. If you vote no, then you're voting to just leave it as it is. The Darryl Johnson Show says no on Prop 60.